Won't you take me home? Give me wings to fly. We can run away. Castle in the sky. Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly?
Good morning, folks. It is Sunday, the 26th of March, and the time is 8 a.m. in the morning. And I'm still down here at T-Man's house in Yanaki. We took the rig down, as you saw in the last upload. Took that down to Benno at Trisled. He's going to do his magic down there. Hopefully I get that back. I think he said he's going to start it next week-ish, so hopefully maybe by the end of next week or the week after I'll get it back. But in the meantime, I'm doing some modifications and some upgrades. Well, I feel they're upgrades anyway. So without any further ado, I will show you what I've done so far. As you know, I'm a very early riser, so I've been out here since about 7 a.m. when it was only just getting light. So I've already made a start on a bunch of stuff, but I'll show you basically what I'm going to do and what I have done so far. So I'll spin you around. Now, this here is what's left of that kid's trailer. And I'll put a photo up so you can get the idea of what's happening. That is basically the bottom of the kid's trailer. And the axles basically go down in here, the wheels. And there's the handle thing there. There's the things that were on the side, the polycarbonate, which is the same polycarbonate as on the side of the trailer on Rigzy. Here's what's left of the canopy, if you could call it that. Mate, I cannot sing the praises of these things. They are junk. Geez, I've had it for a couple of years, and I only ever took my son in it maybe half a dozen times. And then I just used it for cargo between, here and there, and not really rough either, and it just fell apart, mate. So I tried to fix it up, make it a bit more gung-ho by doing this. But the main issue is that it became, it leaked a lot, and many times I had clothes, tents and sleeping bags in there, and they all got wet. Even my son's feet got wet a few times. So I've just ripped all that off, and I've kind of left it there. I might be able to salvage some of that, what's left of that seat, I don't know. I don't like to throw things out too quick. This was the handle at the back, which has little things on there, which you can actually fold the trailer down if you wanted to take it on a plane or fit it a bit better in your back of your car. And it also turned into a handle. You just undid these things, and then you could carry it like a proper trolley. So anyway, that's that there. Now what I've done is I've bought these two Tactics 60 litre storage boxes, or tool boxes, whatever they're called, storage box. And I'm going to lay them up. I'm going to attach them somehow to this. And that way everything's going to be weatherproof. And the things that I'll have in here, I think this one is, at the moment it's just got tools in that one, but the other one here has all the tent and stuff in it. Tent, sleeping bag, that's a one-man tent, the red thing. 2 foam rolls, that's a blow-up pillow, and that all fits nicely in there. Also, I think the bigger dune tent will fit in there as well. So the plan is to have this, my very first cargo trailer, which is just one wheel at the back, connected, as you've seen in previous photos, connected to the back of that. And on the back of that, I'll have these two bad boys in there. This is the old red bag that actually went in there. It no longer is needed, but I'm not going to throw it out because it's a good weatherproof bag, kind of. And look, these things just go fit in there beautifully, mate. Look at that. Bloody lovely. Look at that. Weatherproof, you can lock them. Just lovely. So that is where I am up to. I have got a shitload of tools here to help me to do all this. This box here is going to be a battery box, which I want to put. I've just got the trike here. I went back and picked up the trike because I needed it here to be able to do all this stuff. I'm going to sit it on here. I'm going to fabricate some kind of a template or a fixing thing there that I can then put this big ass box on there, and I'll put up a picture showing what I'm going to do there. It's basically a battery box. This, as you've seen a previous upload, I'll put it up again, have a solar panel, and everything that's going to be in this box is basically the same that's in Rigzy's box, but this one needs to be bigger because this one's also going to have a LiPo 4 battery in there. In the Rigzy configuration, I only have a very thin one of these on the back of Rigzy because the only thing I needed in there was the e-bike battery and the buck converter, the boost converter, and a few bus bars and Anderson plugs, etc. So, and the LiPo 4 battery was in the living module, and I just had cables basically completing a circuit there. So I don't need that for this one, but I would love for this one to be able to go on the back of here, but also when I take the prime mover by itself without the caravan, I want to be able to lift this off and put that on the back of the other one, so I have effectively another battery there that I can run stuff off at night time, like computers and stuff. But look, we're starting to get into the realm of silly dollars. For, you know, if I didn't do it like that, if I tried to just put this one on the back of the Magnum and leave that and then have another one for Rigzy when I just take the prime mover, it's just gonna get silly. I mean, I could put this in one of these things here, and look, that'd probably work all right as well, but that would mean I would always need to take the trailer on the Magnum so I can use the bloody solar panel, and sometimes I don't want to do that. I just want to take that with that, because even once all the batteries and the charge controllers, the boost converters, the bus bars, the cables, the USB charging points, the inverter and everything's in there, there's still going to be a bit of room in the top where I can store stuff. So that's the plan. Alright, I will continue with my working on that, and I will give you updates as I goeth. Alright. Okay, so what I've done is I've managed to keep this bracket. Now, this bracket allows this to turn, and then down here would go on either side of the back wheel of a single, a two-wheeler bike on the back wheel on the axle nuts. That'd just slip over the axle bolt, and then these little things would come over and lock it into place. But they've all rusted out. All I've done to get it to fit to the back of this thing is widened it. Well, it just widens by itself anyway. And I've just smashed these little flanges around so that they sit nicely over these bolts here, which I will show you now. Yes. So these little suckers here, it's gonna go on there, and the other one over there, and I'm going to run nuts right through with washers and lock nuts, and that's going to be silky smooth. Oh yes. Yes, I've got flat tyres. I went into town the other day and I did not get any tubes. Would you believe it? I was in such a hurry, I forgot tubes. I got new tyres from Benno the other day. Forgot to get tubes because I thought I had some, but they were compromised, and when we tried to fix them, they did not want to work very well. So here we go. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. I've already measured all this out. It misses the spokes. There's no issue there with it hitting the spokes. Now, before we get carried away, let's put the other bolt through there so I can hang on. Let's get the other bolt ready so I can just sit that in there so it's not putting any uneven pressure on anything. And I put the washer on the other side, don't I? That's right. That's what we do. Let's go in there. And that can go on the ground just for now. We put the washer on there. Yeah, that should be right. That should be fine and dandy. Just nick that on. Don't do it up yet. There's no need. And the washer after that one fell on the ground, did it? No, I got it on the wrong side. I got it on the bolt side. I want it on the nut side. Yes. There we go. Lovely. Wash up. And the lock nut. Whether it's still lockable, I don't know. I ripped it off something else and now I'm using it there. I'll bring you in for a closer look. Alright, so that's what I've done there, folks. I've just run that bolt through this little flange thing template there, attachment point, which was all part of all that gear over there, and all of this handly thing here was all part of all that. So I've just basically used stuff that was already there because that's how I roll. That's how I roll. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so what I've done here is I've done a bit of a Frankenstein thing. I lost the pin that goes through here. When I say lost, I may have thrown it out, thinking I'm never going to need this arm again. Or it's just been put away somewhere, and me thinking, oh yeah, I'll just put that there, I'll remember where that is, and don't remember. So anyway, I didn't have any pins long enough to go through, but I had 2 tent pegs, so I put one in this end that goes through, and I put another one at this end, and because this one's on the bottom, it needed to be bent all the way around, and I put a plumber's pressure ring thing on there, clamps thing, and hopefully that'll just do me until I get back to somewhere with a hardware store that's got a pin that'll go all the way through with some thread on the end of it, and I can put a washer and a proper lock nut on there type thing. So it just needs to get me back, just the one go. Anyway, I haven't done these up yet. I'm going to put the wheels back on, even though they don't have tubes in them. It's going to give me an idea of where this needs to be locked into place to. So I'll do that and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've put the wheels on. I've put a little raised thing there to just a bit of a jacket up to where I think it will be in the right level for both the Magnum and the Rigzy prime mover. So I've tightened them up. I've tightened them up so much that I've actually bent the little housing thing in a little bit. So I know they're on good. They certainly won't be coming off anytime soon. So now all that's left to do is to chuck those 2 boxes in the back and then configure those 2 on here somehow. How I'm going to do that, I may drill holes through the bottom of those 2 toolboxes, or 1 toolbox I should say, use washers and then drill holes through here, 1, 2, and then 1 and 2 there, because the bottom one will never come off. It's just the top one that I need to come off, so let's go and do that. Alright, so I have drilled holes. I'll show you in a sec. Drilled the holes in, and I've just put self-tapping screws. I've leveled it all out, got it silky smooth right slap bang in the middle, and I had just drilled holes in line with the tube there and the square tube there. This one here was a bit of a problem, but we got there and did 1 and 2 there, and it's as good as it needs to be. This is just going to have tent stuff in there, the sleeping bag, etc. And then the other one on top how I'm going to get the one on top to stick to the one on the bottom is pretty easy. There's these little things here and they just go up through. I might use reusable zip ties there. Doesn't really need to be lockable, guys, because I never leave these things around long enough for anyone to mess with. The really expensive stuff will be in the back of these two here, which I am yet to attach to the bottom of this trailer, but these are lockable. As you can see, you can fit padlocks through here. So what I'm thinking of doing there is getting a wire, you know, the wires, the cable wires that go through, and I'll do one to there and just put a padlock on it. And maybe I'll do that actually right around the whole thing, and that would be pretty cool. Alright, let's chuck the other one on top. Let's put the lid on and let's have a look at that. Right. Yes. There's a bit there, a bit there, a bit. Oh, hang on, back a bit. There we go. Alright. Let's get the Trisled thing in there. Let's get it looking silky smooth. There's the tent. Remember, I had that right down in there, didn't I? Smashed that in there. Okay, there. Good enough for one of them. Right. That's one. We've got this one. Just a bunch of shit. Damn it. Alright. Now that's what I was looking for. Right. Now, you're going to have to picture it looking somewhat better than that. I mean, that is up too high for a start. As you can see, they're all, the tyres haven't been pumped up yet. That is on a weird angle. That won't look anything like that. Once I have it connected up correctly, it will be looking a lot better than that. I can assure you. Actually, let's just take this thing out for the moment. See what we see. That should make it look a little bit more level once that's down. Yes, I think that's a bit better. No, not great, but it'll be fine. I can adjust it. Yeah, no, it'll be fine. Alright, I mean, it probably doesn't look as nice as it did with the kids trailer canopy, but as stated, guys, they just disintegrate, these things. They're fucking useless. The material's crap. The frame's alright. The axle system, I'll give it 5 out of 10. Does the job. I'm never going to have anything heavy, really, in this. Or even in this. Just in here might be my drone, my laptop, my DJI Action 2. Locked and loaded, ready to go. In here will be like clothes, tent, clothes, food. Probably food in this one, pots and pans as well. And look, there's even scope to add more. I mean, you know, I can get another one for there on the top. That's no problem. And as stated, this battery box here, which will be going on the back of the Magnum, is considerable as well, even once I put all the stuff in, which I've shown you that already, and I'll show it again now. Alright, I'm happy with that. Now I've got to work out how I'm going to get some tyres, being a Sunday, because I'd really like to get that done and take it for a spin and see what we see. And I've got to put the battery for the Magnum in here ready to go, although I'm a bit cautious to do that because I haven't got all the other stuff yet, and I hate mounting things permanently when I don't know if that's exactly where it's going to go. But I could just put it in loosely and sticky tape it down, and then when I get everything else, because I've got a lot of cable to play with. See all this? I got heaps of this to play with before you get to this thing here. I mean, I've got to disconnect that and stick it all in, but there's heaps there to play with, which is great. Lovely. All right, rest time. All right, so I haven't actually connected this box up. I've just put it on there to get some kind of an idea of how it's going to look, and I just pan back. That's how it looks with that thing sort of horizontal. Obviously the tyres, the tubes aren't here or pumped up, so that would make that back section rise up a little bit. But I think it's always going to be down a little bit on an angle like that. And you know what, it really doesn't bother me. I'm not bothered with that at all. It's very low to the ground over here, but it always was from memory. I mean, that is super low to the ground. I don't know where you see that, but it is what it is. I could maybe stick something in between here to lift just that section up a bit more, because otherwise it's just sort of like resting down on that thing. Yeah, could do that. I think I might, but for now it's okay. It's going to get me out of trouble. It's going to get me around a little bit. Yeah, so I haven't put the battery thing in there yet. I'm just going to put it in there loosely. I am going to figure out how I'm going to have that configured. So I'd want it, would I want it that way? And then that door would lift up like that. But then that thing would get in the way. Maybe it would go better facing that way. Yes, I imagine so. Let's have a look, see how that looks. Right. Yes, I'm thinking that looks better. That looks better in totality than the other thing. The other thing just looked a bit long hanging out of the back, didn't it? That looks, I mean, it's, you know, it's not connected yet, so it's a bit skew with, but that would be better. Yeah, I think that looks heaps better. I'll go with it like that. Oh yes. Alright, far out. It's actually, it's growing on me. And I like the fact that everything will be weatherproof, except I think these have a weather flange. These ones don't. But what I can do is I can run some weather seal, very thin weather seal along here all the way around, and that'll do the same thing, or a very skinny bead of silicone, and still be able to close it and everything, so it won't affect that. Let's make sure I get that lid up and down well. Let's have a look. So I need to be able to get in there and do that. The flag's a problem. To get in and out of there, I would have to remove the flag. Alright, well then it doesn't matter. It can go back that way, can't it? Obviously that flashing light, I will move all that. The only issue with it like that, you may not be able to get the panniers on there very well anymore, as opposed to when it was like that. I can still use the panniers and get into them, basically. We will see, anyway. Back on there, go like that, go like that, and then that comes up and only goes so far, not just for the flag but because of the headrest as well. So yeah, it would have to go back the other way, like so, and then when I want to get into it I have to move the flag, That's a small price to pay, isn't it? And then that comes up silky smooth, very nicely like that. Got a little Duvalaki in there for tools or whatever. Very deep in there. I'm going to fit everything in there. It's going to be great. Now, see if I can still fit the panniers on there. Right, we need to see how well we can still get these on. Obviously, whatever it is I put on there to create a structure for this, a frame for this to fit on, will have to be higher so that these things that are on the panniers that go over the little tubing on there don't get compromised. They're going to have to be pretty high up, whatever it is I use there. And I only need it to go on, but I need to be able to get in there, and that's going to be a problem when it's horizontal like that. It's going to be a problem, I'm telling you. So I want that there, unless of course I connect the panniers to the side of the bloody thing there, of the toolbox. I mean, yes. Now, why isn't that? Why is that going there? That's in the way. That's it. Jolly good. Ish. That's not going to work there. Needs to go. And I've got these around the wrong way. Around the wrong way. Anyway, that should be alright. And then, using this box tube aluminium, which would pull it up just enough so that I could then have that sitting on there. Which way did I say I was going to do it? That way, wasn't it? No. Yes, that way. So that would be somewhere like that. Can I still get into the panniers like that? Yeah, fucking no. Let's have a look. You know what? No. It's not great like that. No, you can still get in on them, but it's not really, it's not ideal. Unless you have the panniers on the actual side of the thing. Or, as stated before, I go that way kind of thing. And then if I go that way, I can get into the panniers a lot easier and they're not sticking out further. Yes, I'll just put those things right the other way. Yeah, I can still get into them like that. But I'm just not a fan of it. It just sticks out. A country bloody mile, doesn't it? No. I think that's going to be the way to go. Then I will have no problem with the flag either. I don't think. Let's try it. Sometimes you've got to accept function over form. You know, yeah, look at that. I don't think that flag's going to be in the way at all. But we will check. It might need to come back the other way. So that'll be there. Let's have a look at that. Oh yes, it does get in the way a bit, but we might be able to when it lifts up, just put the flag. Oh, look at that, it acts as a doorstop. Not that I really need it because it's got a little thing on there, but yeah, alright, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going that way. All right. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut down these two bits of box aluminium tubing. They're 25mm square. And I marked them out in line with this rear rack tubing, and I've drilled holes either side of it and just run some black heavy duty zip ties through it. I'm just about to do it up now, and then I will come to this one, do the same. You see where I've done my marks, they're exactly in line with this stuff here, and then I'll flip it over and do the same as that one. All right, I have connected this toolbox to these little brackety things under there, and I just use self tappers again, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I was going to use some straps, but I changed my mind. I'm not going to be taking this box off. It's going to be permanent. I just drilled a hole through there for the cables, and I put a single self tapper through in the same line as that. It's in perfect enough room all around, as you will see in a second. Yes, okay, so I've put the battery in. I did have a bit of problem with this screw here. The side of the battery housing was hitting that and not getting onto the connector properly, so I had to really force it down with the screw driver and get it down a bit further, and I just jiggled it until I got it. It is a bastard to put it in and take it out. With the extra cable, I just zip tied it to the side of the thing. And now for the test to see if we've got power. Oh yes, let's have a look. This is just a temporary thing, guys. It got broken when it was at someone's house. I just got not broken, a little nut came out and I couldn't find it, so that's power. Lovely, and still nearly fully charged. It's nearly 42 volts, so that's good. Let's turn that off. Lovely. Alright, I'm very happy with that, and I'm going to call it a day. I've been going since 7 o'clock this morning, and the time now is 3 o'clock on the big bird clock. So that's it for me. Pack it up a bit, call it a day. Oh yes. Tomorrow, T-Man's heading into Leongatha for a doctor's appointment, and on the way back, it's a little bit further down actually, Corumburra, I think they call it Burra Cycles. Hopefully they'll have some 16-inch tubes. I'll be able to grab those and take her for a fang. As you can see, I've got heaps of room left in this box, guys, for all the things that I need to put in there. And I should still have a little bit of room up the top to be able to put this tray in, and possibly another one. I do have another one of these trays lying around at home somewhere, so I'll try and find that, maybe put that in there, and then I can have all my tools and that in there. There might even be enough room for a proper, you can get these proper things that go down, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright, ciao for now. Part 2 coming shortly when I take it for a test ride. My test ride will be going down to, well, I won't tell you, but I'll be camping out there for a night or two. I have bought all my camping gear, gas cooker and everything, and it'd be awesome. This place where I want to go, I used to camp there a long time ago when I was in my motorhome. I have not camped there since I've been on cycle wheels, and it's a great spot. It's going to be some lovely drone work there, maybe some fishing as well, but I don't know if I'll take any of that because I want to be just there doing drone work and setting up camp and seeing how all this fares and stuff, so we'll do that. All right.